Everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Running just a couple of minutes behind tonight, but we're getting ready to roll. So, anyway, last Sunday night we did a segment on what to do to help you find parts for your project. What you guys can do to help guys like me help you. So, just as kind of a quick recap, if you missed last week, what we talked about last week was, as crazy as this sound, things like know what you've got. And I know that sounds insane, but it would shock you the amount of people that call me and ask about something they're working on, and I just turn around and start asking them questions because they can't give me the information that I need. I need a bed for my pickup. Which one? You know, a lot of years there were multiple beds available, multiple sets of running boards, different options on different models of cars. I know it would shock most of you. There's guys that don't even know what kind of car they have. Don't know what year it is. So that type of stuff's kind of what we covered last week. Go back and catch that video if you're interested. At any point in time, anybody that's on with us, if you've got questions, I want this to be an interactive chat. If you've got questions, just pop them up there. Tonight, I think we'll talk about eBay, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's definitely good things about it. There's a lot of rules, a lot of things that you guys may not even realize that guys like me have to deal with when we use eBay and PayPal and things like that. So we'll get into that tonight. Next Sunday, we'll probably get into some more stuff, some Craigslist stuff, some even Facebook stuff. So tonight, let's focus on eBay. That's kind of a big topic. It's something that most of us are familiar with. It's something that most of us have used to look for stuff before. And obviously for guys like me, I've got 1,200 or so pieces on eBay. So there's a lot of different ways to attack this thing. Hamilton, Missouri on with us. Thanks for being here. Where to start, where to tackle this monster from. There's a ton of different things to talk about. I guess the best thing to start with is, from your guys' standpoint, searches. When you're looking stuff up on eBay. I'm sure a lot of you have seen and I guess before we get into this, I should preface this with, I am not an expert on their system. Somebody drive by today. Steve drove by the yard today. Thanks. I'm not an expert on the system. Oh, well, we got New York on with us now. So I don't know a lot of the ins and outs. I don't understand how their algorithms work, things like that. What I'm going to talk about tonight is what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what I've learned from using eBay for 20 years. But I can't get into how their system works because that I don't know. So let's start with their searches. When you guys are looking for things, I'm sure a lot of you have seen Best Match pop up when you look for stuff. And I don't understand Best Match. The only thing I can understand Best Match is the guys that play by a lot of the eBay rules and sign up for a lot of their programs and things like that. I think that's how eBay pushes certain accounts, is by Best Match. Because every time I've looked for something, whatever pops up in Best Match typically has nothing to do with what I typed in for a search. It's something kind of sort of maybe close that eBay's trying to push. So that's where I think Best Match comes from, and I think that's why it's there. Can't prove that. That's just from my own experience from what I've seen. When you guys are looking for something, the best thing I can suggest is get as narrow as possible and then back up from there. You're looking for a certain door handle for a certain vehicle. Type your vehicle in and type in exterior or outside door handle. If that doesn't find anything, I back it off and maybe go just door handle for a 50 Chevy. If I can't find anything that says 50 Chevy door handle, maybe I'll just type in 50 Chevy handle and back up that way with your search to find what you're looking for. Because I don't like Best Match either. When I look for something on eBay, I don't like Best Match. It isn't what I'm looking for usually. So that's my best suggestion on something like that, on using their search. And if anybody else has experiences with eBay and you want to chime in, absolutely, by all means. I want these to be open discussions and open chats. I want everybody to learn from this. There's stuff you guys know that I probably don't from your experience. So, obviously from my side, that a lot of you guys probably are not as aware of are the fees. eBay's very expensive for people like me. And if you read their fine print, you read their rules, sellers are not allowed to charge buyers for any of those fees. I can't add that in on the price, technically. However, I know they're there, and I know they're expensive, and I know about what they run me. And I add it to the price. I take what I want for the part, I add eBay fees, PayPal fees. If it's free shipping, guess what? There's no such thing as free shipping. I add it into the price and flag it as free shipping because eBay wants it to say free shipping. That's what they want. That's one of the things they push. So all those fees and all those expenses that eBay wants to, hide from the buyers gets added into the price of what you're paying. So everything that I put on eBay and a lot of other parts dealers and a lot of people that use eBay, that's all factored in. Those fees, PayPal fees, eBay fees, those are included in the price. Now, another issue where I run into that is if you're a non-U.S. buyer, there are even extra fees. PayPal charges even me fees. I know they're charging you exchange rate fees. They're also charging me exchange rate fees. So that's one of the reasons that I can't sell out of the U.S. because of the extra fees. And then a lot of those guys, and almost every single one of them, non-U.S. buyers, I'll be more than happy to pay the fees. Guess what? I can't do that. If I tell you I can sell to you, but I'm going to charge you extra because PayPal is charging me extra, eBay can suspend my account. It's a terrible deal, but a lot of guys from Canada, they can't buy because of the fine print, the black and white fine print. I can't charge you any extra for that. They take more from me. I can factor in the fees on the basic stuff, but when there's added fees for non-U.S. buyers, I can't charge extra for that. So to the point where I've had to block any non-U.S. buyer because of the way that fee structure and then the addresses, which is another issue that we'll get into here shortly, is on the shipping, with the shipping information, the shipping addresses. So keep that in mind, guys. When when you're looking at what something's on eBay for, and you think it should be a $100 part and it's listed for $150, that's why. All the rest of that stuff is factored in. eBay's great. I mean, it opens the world up to everybody. There's a lot of stuff that pops up on eBay that guys didn't know existed and have had tons of trouble finding. Just like tonight, after we get off the video tonight, I'm going to start putting stuff on. Tonight, I'm going to list a new old stock trunk handle for a 56 Mercury. I've got a whole bunch of side moldings for a 60-61 Chevy short wide bed pickup, factory side moldings. That stuff just doesn't hardly exist. A lot of that stuff pops up on eBay and guys can find it there, and it's great. But it's not cheap. eBay has a good deal going, and they know it, and they charge dearly for it. And some of you guys may say, well, I've sold on eBay here and there, and it doesn't cost me that much. Well, eBay's kind of like your local friendly cable provider. If you haven't noticed, if you're a good, loyal customer and you've been with your cable or internet provider for 10 years, you can see how happy they are to charge you full rate while they're advertising all over TV introductory rates for the first 12 months that are a fraction of what you're paying. eBay's the same way. If you're a good established customer, you get to pay a lot of money to use them. If they're trying to lure you in, they'll do it for next to nothing, if not nothing on a lot of things. So keep that stuff in mind whenever you're using the system, because that is a big part of it. So that's covering some of the costs that are associated with it and what guys like me are up against when you use it. It's a great thing, but it's expensive, and those fees are getting passed on to you most of the time. And I don't know if we're getting more comments here or not. Oh, yeah, here we go. Hey, Rico and Jess are with us. Great to see you guys on. Texas is on with us. Okay, we're getting kind of stuck there. Anyway, we touched on a little bit about shipping rules, and this primarily only is going to apply to non-U.S. buyers on eBay and PayPal. With PayPal, when you pay with PayPal, you have to have a confirmed shipping address. They will let you pay with a non-confirmed address, and this is something that's in the fine print that a lot of people don't realize. So I guess the non-confirmed part does apply to everyone. Make sure you have a confirmed shipping address. If I ship to somebody with a non-confirmed at shipping address, it's my fault. If there's any issues, any concerns, any problems, PayPal will take the money from me, no questions asked, and I'm out everything. Confirmed shipping addresses are extremely critical on PayPal. If you're not sure, you might want to double check and make sure your shipping address is confirmed. Here's where you run into problems with a non-US account. Well, I'm going to ship it to my buddy's house in the States, and he's going to get it to me. Doesn't work, because unless you've gone through a manual process to confirm that address, or your bank accounts and your credit card information are tied to your buddy's house, it's not going to be a confirmed address. So I can't ship to you. My PayPal account I have went in and set the parameters to where if you have a non-confirmed shipping address, you can't even pay me. I won't even take them. And most people don't know that, but that's in the fine print with PayPal. Non-confirmed or unconfirmed shipping addresses, they'll run them through, and they can pay you and you can ship to them. But if there's any problems, it is the shipper's fault. No questions asked. Doesn't matter what happened. Doesn't matter lost, damaged, stolen, broken. It is the shipper's fault, and PayPal will take the money back from you. So just something to keep in mind on the shipping addresses, and also why the non-US buyer thing comes into play on eBay. So anybody that is a non-US buyer, you might want to keep that stuff in mind and try to get your accounts set to where you can work around those and still be able to use eBay. Contact information. I put my number in all of my ads. eBay blocks it most of the time. But there are a lot of things where a quick phone conversation can eliminate a lot of questions. Shipping questions, things like that. The big thing that I get every day and delete are emails about other parts through eBay. If you email me through eBay about other parts that aren't listed on eBay, I cannot respond to that. The only thing I can tell you if I respond to that is if for some weird reason out of the 1,000+ cars I have in stock, I have the exact single piece that you're looking for on eBay at that given time, I can tell you it's on eBay. Then, other than that, all I can tell you is I don't have that part currently listed on eBay. That's all I can do. If I try to tell you I've got it, or I try to sell you something else, I can't do it. They can suspend my account. It is completely forbidden, obviously, to try to do business outside of eBay on eBay's website. And I understand that. I mean, they're protecting their own interests. There's no doubt about that. But the problem is most people don't understand that. Like I said, my numbers are in my eBay ads, although they're commonly blocked. So, how do you get a hold of somebody if you've got a question? The biggest thing that I have found when I've needed to get a hold of somebody, and I do the same thing, mine's set up this way. Look at their username. My username is Nobody Else's Auto. Google it. Look at the username. See if it looks like a business, looks like it may have something. Google it. See what you can come up with. See if you can find something to work with, and see if you can get a hold of somebody that way. So that's a handy tip if you need to get a hold of somebody that you're looking at some stuff on eBay. You may look at my auction. I've got a bunch of parts for this particular car on there. Like, man, I'm restoring one of those. This guy's got to have more parts. And you email me and say, I'm working on a 59 Edsel, and I need this, that, and the other thing. All I can do is delete it. I've got a 59 Edsel in stock. I may have some of your parts, but I can't respond to it, or I'm in violation of eBay policy. So that's something else that's kind of a slippery slope that's very tricky and makes a lot of people mad because they think I'm ignoring them. No, I can't answer you. There's no way I can legally answer you on their system other than send you an email back saying, I do not have this part currently listed on eBay, which just raises even more questions. And then a lot of people say, well, you can put it on eBay for me and I'll buy it. You know how many times I've heard that? You know how many times I've listed stuff that sat there and floated and floated and floated, and then all of a sudden the guy never bought it? Like every time somebody's asked me to do that. So, and unfortunately, that's not priority because of people like that. It's one of those deals. You get a few bad eggs, ruin the whole thing for everybody. And it makes it tough for guys like me to get too motivated about making an effort to specifically list something on eBay for somebody when they don't follow through with what they wanted to do. So, I'm not having any comments pop up. If you are commenting, there is something not coming through. So anyway, just don't want to ignore anybody. But if there's nothing coming through, that's fine. But I don't want to ignore anybody anyway. So anyway, like I said, that's some of the best ways that I can suggest to help you with your eBay thing. Now, negative feedback, filing cases through eBay, things like that. Buyers have rights to do that, absolutely. And from time to time, that's necessary. But realistically, guys, 99% of the bad guys got weeded out of eBay years ago. There's guys that are going to jump on and maybe try to scam a few things here and there. But anybody with any sort of an established account is probably going to be a pretty good seller. The problems that I'm finding are new accounts. Brand new, just open accounts, zero feedback accounts. If anybody that's looked at any of my auctions, the first paragraph says, if you have a zero feedback account or it's less than a year old, I will cancel your bid or cancel the transaction. Period. No questions asked. Not even going to talk about it unless you get a hold of me prior to you bidding or buying. And that's because that's where the scammers are at on eBay. They're jumping on, opening new accounts, pulling a few shenanigans. They get kicked off, and they jump on and open up a new account again. So that's where the issues are at with scammers on eBay. Watch for new accounts, zero feedback accounts, accounts that are a week or two old. That's where I'm running into issues with buyers. So I've got a feeling that's where the seller scammer issues are going to be too. Newer accounts. If it's established, been on for several years, even if it's not a high feedback account, if it's an established account that's been on there for several years, chances are 99.9% is probably going to be okay. In the event that you do have an issue and you do have to file a case with eBay or leave negative feedback and blah, 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 something else to keep in mind that a lot of you guys may not realize is, oh, I'm going to blast this guy's feedback and he's going to be sorry. Oh, yeah? Really? Guess what? I can file a case on your account also. Plus, I can also block you from ever bidding on anything I ever put on again. There is a block bidder list that I can add anybody to. And you say, oh, well, that's fine. I ain't buying another from you again anyway. Well, guess what? Parts dealers talk too. I know a lot of guys, I'll go look at their feedback, and if somebody pulled something with them, I'll go in and block you from my account too. So a lot of people think that, they've got all the power. Well, you may have the power in that transaction at that moment, but you have no idea after being on eBay 20 years how many guys have contacted me want to know why they can't bid. And say, oh, I didn't mean that. No, you were a problem. I'm not going to deal with you. And that's just the way it goes. Got some comments. I'm freezing up. Okay. So, yeah. Hey, Rich, it is water. Thank you. So keep that in mind, guys. The best thing you can do is try to work with the seller and or buyer, depending on which one you are. But keep in mind, those rules are out there for the sellers also. So there is some parameters there that everybody needs to keep in mind. And like I said, if it's an established account and been around for a long time, it's probably going to be an okay deal. There may have been a snafu somewhere, but 9 times out of 10, it can be worked through. But if you do file cases with eBay and leave bad feedback and things like that, don't plan on buying from that guy ever again, and probably several other parts dealers, because it does get around. So, anyway, looks like we're up to date on comments. I hope we're not freezing up quite as bad. But so far, it's doing okay on my end. I hope it's not being too annoying for everybody else. But anyway, that's kind of what I've got for tonight. I hope it was some helpful information. Something kind of different, some stuff that doesn't get covered a lot, but some stuff that gets very frustrating for me at times, for people who do use it and do not understand the system. Just like I said, I delete emails each and every single day for parts I have in stock, but I cannot respond to them on eBay's system. You call me, I'll talk about anything you want to talk about. But on their system, on their emails, can't do it. Absolutely, positively no way, because they can suspend my account, they can suspend your account, and they do it. They're not afraid to do that either. So, anyway, that's kind of what I had tonight. Let's see, comments, we're looking okay, I think, unless we're froze up. Hopefully we're not froze up. But, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll do the same thing again next Sunday night. We got some more comments popping up here. What do we got? Guy from Rose Hill. Let's see. It's a long comment. Let's see if I can get it to open. The public cannot come in and walk the yard. I can take you out and show you something you're looking for. I'm working on getting, and I've been saying this for a year, but I am actually working on it. I did talk to the attorney the other day about paperwork to do tours, so we can actually do regular guided tours through the place. So that's kind of where we're at. If you do come in with a list and say, I need to look at this, that, and the other thing, we can go back and look at that and see what you need, if there's anything there that'll work for your project. There is a very good point there that I completely forgot about that is something new. Mick brought up the eBay taxes. Yes, big deal. Just came out within the last couple months. Thanks, Mick. I completely blew that off. And I will give eBay credit. They fought this off for 20 years, but now they ran out of, couldn't get it done anymore. You are paying sales tax on eBay. You are not paying that to me unless you are a resident of Kansas. If you're a resident of Kansas, I do have to go in and add sales tax to your transaction, which is another issue. If you live in Kansas and you buy something on eBay and pay for it right away before I can go in and add sales tax, I can't go in and add sales tax. So then I've got to cancel the transaction. We've got to start over. So there's another eBay glitch on Kansas residents having to pay me sales tax. If you're out of Kansas or you're buying from another state, eBay does charge you sales tax now. And that has literally been probably the last 60 days. So that is something new. Thanks, Mick. I forgot to get that in my notes tonight. And so that is something that's been a huge deal. And I've heard a lot of feedback from it, and people aren't happy. I will give eBay credit. They fought it off a lot longer than I thought they were going to be able to. But eventually, as usual, the government caught up to it. When a regular 29 Chevy 4-door, that I don't know about. Give me a call so I can get you on my list tomorrow. Love the videos. Thanks. I appreciate it. I enjoy doing them. I hope you guys like them. I love having you guys on here hanging out with me and chatting. And I do enjoy it. But it isn't much fun if you guys aren't here with me. So sitting here talking into my phone isn't too exciting by myself. Let's see what else we got. There's Mac. Love the posts. Thanks. Appreciate the positive feedback. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. We shot a bunch of video today out in the new yard. We shot 6 more videos that will be coming out over the next couple of weeks on the Nobody Show page. If you have not been on the Nobody Show page, jump on over and give it a like, and so you can keep up with what we've got going on over there. I do try to get the videos transferred to the Nobody Else's Auto page, but I'm not that timely on it. I get busy, and every day I think I need to transfer some over, and then I just get busy and forget about it. So I do need to do some more of that. But just jump on over the Nobody Show page and like that, and then you'll catch them when they come out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. So anyway, that's what I've got going on. Next Sunday night, we'll get into some Craigslist and some Facebook stuff. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook. So we'll touch on some of that. Let's see what else we got cooking here. See if I've got anything else that I did forget. I can't believe I forgot the sales tax thing. That's one of the biggest things on eBay right now anyway. I think that's about it that I had for eBay. Those are just some quick tips from my point of view. I guess the only other thing I can leave you with on eBay, read the auction. My auctions are extremely long. Then there are tons of details in them because I've been doing it for 20 years. And over 20 years, I've built my auction to try to include and try to eliminate a lot of the questions. It's long, it's lengthy. There's a ton of information on every one of my auctions besides the part description. And that's because there are so many parameters that sellers like myself have to work with. So read the whole auction. 9 times out of 10, your question can be answered in the auction. If not, you can send me an email. But like I said, unless it's something specifically about that exact single part or a question in the auction, or maybe I fat fingered something and had an error in the auction that I need to correct, that I can deal with. anything you ask me, and 90% of the emails I get are about other parts, which I can't answer. So, not much I can do with that. But, so that is my biggest suggestion. Read the auction. Be clear. If you've got questions, Google the username is about the best suggestion I can give you to try to find somebody and see what you can come up with. So, anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. Like I said, next week, Craigslist, YouTube, YouTube, Craigslist, Facebook, things like that. Got any questions? Let me know. Anything you guys have questions about on trying to find parts, trying to find projects, things like that. We'll get into some more shipping stuff down the road too. We do need to cover some shipping and get into some of the details on that, because there are a lot of different things that I deal with on shipping stuff every week also. So, anyway, got any specific questions, just give me a call, 620-786-4428, and we will catch you next Sunday night here at 7:30, and we may pop up a few other videos throughout the week. Shot some more pictures of some cool stuff at the yard. Going to throw some pictures of those up yet tonight, and more videos coming on Nobody's Show, and nothing else. Hope to see you back next Sunday night at 7:30. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me tonight, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks.